Alright guys, my name is Shervin, welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to talk about the 5 ways that you can cut back on your expenses and save money. Now, given that we are currently in a recession, it is more important than ever to make sure we cut back on our expenses and save up as much cash as possible. In addition to that, the extremely high inflation rate means that the cost of living is going to keep going up at least for the foreseeable future. Which means that unless we start cutting back on some of our expenses, we're going to have to spend a lot more money just to live the same way as before. Now, for some of you, this may not be the biggest deal in the world, but for most people who live paycheck to paycheck, this could be a huge issue. But don't you worry, because if you watch the end of the video, I'm going to walk you through the top 5 ways that you can cut back on your expenses without having to sacrifice too much of your lifestyle. And all that I ask for in return is that if you're new to my channel and you enjoy this video, make sure to smash the subscribe button down below and join the community. I make new videos about personal finance and investing on a regular basis. And by subscribing to the channel, you get to see all my new videos right as they come out. Also, if you enjoy the video and want to support me even more, then do me a favor and smash the like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. But alright, with all that said, let's get right into it. Now, the first is to find and get rid of all the subscriptions that you don't even know you have. Now, this is so common amongst the average consumer that I almost guarantee if you look hard enough, you will find some random service that you didn't even know you're subscribed to. Maybe it was just some service that you decided to use as a free trial. Maybe it was a service that you were using before, but you're not using anymore, but you just forgot to cancel. Whatever it is, I almost guarantee that you will find at least somewhere where you're paying money every single month or every single year, and you're not even using anything that they're offering. I can tell you, even I have been guilty of this in the past where I would subscribe for something and just forget to cancel before the trial ended. But now I regularly check all my credit card statements just to see exactly where my money is going and what am I spending on. And if I ever spend a penny on a subscription service that I'm not using or I didn't even know I was subscribed to, I cancel that thing immediately. And again, for most of you out there, I guarantee that if you just do this one thing, that'll save you at least $10 to $20 a month, if not more. So go through all your statements, see if there's any subscription services that you're subscribed to but you're not really using, and just get rid of that thing. Now, next up is to make sure you have a set budget, and this will help you avoid all kinds of random splurges that you were not even aware you were having. Just sit down and allocate an amount to everything that you spend on and make sure you don't go above that limit for the month. For example, you spend X amount on rent, X amount on food, X amount on groceries, etc. Now, it might sound crazy, but just doing this act alone is going to help you save money and avoid spending as much as you were before. Now, granted, most people are probably not going to stick to their budgets with 100% accuracy. They're probably going to go over some of the limits now and then. But just the fact of having some sort of an arbitrary line where you're trying not to spend more money than that amount is going to help you avoid unnecessary spendings as much as possible. And again, even if this only ends up saving you a couple of dollars a week, then that's going to add up to a lot more over the long term. So make sure you have a set budget and try your best to not go over those limits that you set for yourself. Now, next up is to avoid lifestyle inflation as much as possible. Now, lifestyle inflation happens when someone starts earning more money and they feel the need to spend that extra money to have a better apartment, better car, etc. Whereas really, when you start earning more money, that means you have more money coming in that you can save and invest. And especially during a recession and a market crash, cash is king. And the more of it you can save and the more of it you can invest, the better off you're going to be. Now again, I know that it's very tempting to use that extra money to move to a better neighborhood or to go on a travel you've been dreaming of going on. But again, all that I'm asking from you is to sacrifice for the short term in order to win for the long term. Now, recessions and market crashes usually last an average of 18 months, after which the market goes back to booming. And if you want to spend a little bit more money to go on some expensive travel or to move to a better area, it is much better to do so when you're not in fear of losing your job due to the recession. So just be patient for now, try not to spend more money than you have to, and wait for all of this to blow over. Now, next one, and this is a very practical one for you guys, is to make sure you don't buy drinks on a night out. Now, don't get me wrong, I like drinking as much as the next guy. I just prefer when I don't have to spend a lot more money than I have to. Now, just to give you an example, here where I live, you can buy a 6-pack of beer for $18 to $20. But if you're at a restaurant or a bar and you try to buy the same beer, it costs about $7 to $8 per bottle. That means that you're paying at least 3 times more than what you have to pay in order to get that drink. Now, I understand that restaurants, bars, and clubs, they have to make their money. I completely understand all of that, but let's call it what it is. This is a scam. It's just ridiculous that you're getting the exact same thing, but you have to pay at least 3 times more, if not more than that. So avoid. Please don't blow your paycheck on this. If you're going to blow off your money, at least do it on something that makes sense. And again, I understand that people want to go out and have a good time. Just drink at home before you go to the event or place, and then that way you can have your good time and not go bankrupt at the same time. Now, last but not least is to make coffee at home. Now, I know this is a very controversial one and a lot of people get very mad if you talk about their Starbucks coffee, but the truth of the matter is that Starbucks coffee is an even bigger scam than alcoholic drinks are at bars and clubs. Again, just using where I live as an example, 1 cup of coffee made at home costs less than 50 cents, whereas buying the same cup of coffee at Starbucks is at least $3, if not more. And again, that is if you just buy a normal cup of coffee from Starbucks without any shenanigans. That means that a cup of coffee from Starbucks costs at least 6 times more than what you make at home, if not more than that. Now, I know that most of you are probably just saying, that's only $3. I mean, what difference is that going to make? And I get that. On the surface, you might look at that and say, oh, it's just $3. Stop being so cheap. And really, if you just pull up on Starbucks every once in a while, it's not going to be a big deal. But the thing is, there are so many people out there that pull up at Starbucks or other coffee shops on a daily basis. And day after day, they're spending a lot more money on buying coffee than they have to. And if you consistently throw money in the trash every single day, it doesn't matter if it's just $1 or $2. Eventually, it's going to add up to be a lot. And again, it's not like I'm telling you not to drink coffee. You can get the same cup of coffee at home for a fraction of the cost. Again, I'm not saying you can never go to Starbucks. I get it if you want to treat yourself or something along those lines. But just make sure you don't make it a daily habit, where on a day-to-day basis, you're spending a lot more money than you have to. So those were the top 5 ways, in my opinion at least, to save money and cut back on your expenses. And if you guys have any other suggestions, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. I'd be happy to discuss it with you. Now that's about it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Feel free to follow me on Instagram. I post there regularly, so if you want to be a part of it there, make sure to follow me there. And as always, if you have any questions about any of the stuff that we talked about in this video, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. I always respond to every single question that comes in. And now with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.